Baby, I calling you.
Shit.
I texting you, you not answering me. You dodging me or what?
What happened to you? What? I ain't dodging you. I'm working overtime. Yes,
But baby, I have some surprise news for you.
A surprise? What surprise?
Guess what? I'm pregnant.
You what?
Yes, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, well, I'm happy for you too. Who is the lucky father?
You, of course, you always joking.
Me?
Yes. But you know it's yours.
Don't have
You're
me
the
that.
only one I'm seeing.
You?
Yes.
Don't use that. You better shit this side.
I will never do that. I
better
will
do
have that baby without you.
Girl, Bob, just move by me, girl.
Oy, 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 oy. Oy, 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 oy. Oy, 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 oy. Oy, 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 oy. When I got the news, I was so happy. Always wanted a family. Couldn't wait to meet him and tell him. Couldn't wait to meet him and tell him. A boy or girl. I wondered, yes, I wondered all the way. What a happy day. But when I told him I am pregnant, he started to cuss and act ignorant. Turn and tell me flat, he don't want it. He turn and tell me flat, he don't want it. He even said, this child, this unborn child is not his own. No, it's not his concern. Oh, yo, yo, I'm having a baby. She's having a baby. And there is no daddy. There is no daddy. In shock, I still can't believe he chased me as if I have fleas. Just so, I tell you, just so, I'm having a baby. She's having a baby. And there is no daddy. There is no daddy. When the baby starts to kick, no papa to witness it. Oh, what a shame. Only me to blame, to blame. Why, oh, yo, yo. Why, oh, yo, yo. Why, oh, yo, yo. Why, oh, yo, yo. Took good care, always treat me right. Never want to let me out of his sight. Promise one day we'll get married. Promise one day we'll get married. He said I was the prettiest girl he'd ever seen. Yes, his empress, his queen. He tell me move in front of his door. I never saw that side of him before. Saying that I'm trying to tie him. Saying that you're trying to tie him. He said I am a slut, a good for nothing whore, and he don't want me no more, no more. I'm having a baby. She's having a baby. And there is no daddy. There is no daddy. I once was his joy and pride. He said I will be his bride. Now I'm tossed aside.
He tossed she aside.
I'm having a baby.
Hey Calypso Calypso family, what's up? And welcome back, because you know what? It's a brand new week and I am so ecstatic that you're here with me again, because it's time to push the movement. We are on a mission. It's Voice of the People, and we are here to make sure that Calypso lives on, especially right here in St. Lucia. Now, I'm especially excited because I grew up with this artist, but I'm not going to give you too many clues just yet. I'll backtrack a little bit because I want to remind you that part of this mission and movement, we need your support. So besides viewing and sharing and spreading the links, we also need you to support, because you can actually directly help support your favorite Calypsonians by going over to Easy Click Tickets, and then you'll see their names individually and you can donate directly to them. Or you can also go to GoFundMe, where we have the St. Lucia Calypso Relief Fund, and there you can also show your support and pledge whatever is feasible for you. But at the end of the day, everything is going to help us keep putting out great content like this and keep the art from going. Whew. Now we've got all the technicalities out of the way. We have somebody very special up next, and this Calypsonian doesn't need any long intro. He has taught us, I know he taught me to walk and wine. Hey, walk and wine. And of course, just as I am, I come. I guess you'll probably know where I go into this, right? And during these COVID times, I'll do a little remix. It's like COVID just come to take my money, because everybody crying about Laja, Laja. Yeah, you're on the same page with me now. So of course, without any further ado, it's Invader. So let's sit back, relax, and get ready to find out a lot more about this legend.
All right, my name is Ignatius Tisson, T-I-S-I-N. I was born on the 12th of December, 1955. I'm a single child. I'm the only child of my mom. So I grew up with a single parent who's still alive. She's 98 right now and bedridden. And my pride and joy, it's my turn to take care of her, and that's what I do most of the time. I am basically an entertainer by profession. Things have been going very well. I've been doing this for like 38 years now. I am basically a very simple guy, a father of 7, a grandfather of 14, and I love life to the fullest. Well, it started in 1983. Actually, in 1982, I got the calling. I was looking at 1982's carnival. I had just left the Adventist church, where I did a small stint, a number of years. I got married in the church and what have you. And to make a long story short, backslide would be the word to explain what led me into Calypso. In 1982, I was on Brazil Street, and there was a truck coming down. It was Carnival Tuesday. And I got on the side of the road and on some steps, and I observed, at the time it was Get Through, coming down on that truck singing What the People Chanting, which was the road march of 1982. And I stood there and I watched Get Through on the truck and watched the people and the energy, and I decided that is what I wanted to do. So I found out what was necessary to become a Calypsonian. I spoke to Suku and a few other people who directed me in the direction to go. And I joined the Uprising Calypso tent under the leadership of the Living Chassis in 1983. And I made my first appearance. Now, I said earlier I had just backslid from the church, so I knew it would be a little difficult to appear on stage as a backslider. At the time, there were 2 wrestlers on TV, the Invaders. These guys were phenomenal, the best at their craft, but they wore masks. So they had that mystic about them, wanting to know who are those guys. So I thought at the time that might be a good gimmick if I was to wear a mask. That is where the idea for the mask came out. And I did wear a mask on that night, and I went on stage very comfortably and destroyed the Gaiety Cinema with my very first rendition called Mash Up Yellow Man, which became the road march of 1983. And story being told, that's where it all started.
Mr. Yellow Man, I'm talking to you. Don't blame me for what I am going to do. Mr. Yellow Man, you better stop lying. Invader go put water in your eye. He claims say all the women mad over here. I Invader no woman does only get mad under me. He claims say all the women get out of hand, but since I don't miss that, not one woman ever slide out behind. So I come out to match up yellow man, and I want everyone to understand. Lade, I come out to match up yellow man, and I want all black man to lend a hand. JB, play banana banana, play banana banana, lada de, lada de, lada de, lada de.
So that night, did they recognize you?
Not a bit, because I sang, I got off stage, took my mask off, while people were running towards the stage, because like I told you, it was total chaos with Mash Up Yellow Man. I was walking out, and nobody knew it was me. And it was like that for a few years until, well, you know, it's only 238 square miles. How long can you remain a mystery? From the rehearsals, the backup band was a very popular band of the time called the Merrymakers Band. We were rehearsing at Hospital Road. I mean, from the rehearsals, every night there would be a crowd outside the rehearsal room waiting to hear the Invader rehearse, because the song Mash Up Yellow Man really was about the popular Jamaican artist Yellow Man, who in the 80s was about the most popular dub artist with all his tracks, Hamburger and Mash Up and Over Me. And so I fused the reggae to calypso. As a matter of fact, the bass line of the song was the same bass line which Yellow Man used in his popular tracks. But I did it faster. So people were already used to that bass line. So, and the storyline too. Because what I was doing, comparing myself to Yellow Man. Yellow Man said, over me, them are mad over me. I say, he claims, say, all the women mad over he. And I Invader, no woman does only get mad under me. You understand? So it was a contrast of the things that made Yellow Man who he was. And I'm saying that I'm better than that. He claims, say, he have all the women in Miami. And I know in Lucia all the women belong to me. You understand? So I went along with that, plus the pulsating rhythm, and that really captivated the people, plus the mystic of the mask. And I was able to win the road match, like I told you. That night was phenomenal. I mean, I knew it would be a hit from the rehearsals, like I told you, because people were crowding the rehearsal room every evening and reacting to the song. And when I got on stage, I tell you, it was, you know, phenomenal, man.
You wore the mask during rehearsals?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right, so what is your most memorable, would you think? I mean, you've been in this, yes, for 38 years.
Yeah.
But maybe one or two of your most memorable moments in calypso.
Yeah. In 1986, I think it was the first King of Kings. I did a track called Just As I Am, where before that there was the general consensus that I was winning the crown because of my presentation. Because I used to do a lot of elaborate presentations. And people were saying that I'm not that good of a calypsonian. It's basically the theatrics that gets me to win. So I wrote a song called Just As I Am. And that night, the presentation was no presentation, where I came on with a white robe. And during the song, I was disrobing. And I had a little, like a G-string on with a leaf in the front, like Adam. And by the end of the song, I was totally naked on stage. I paid for it daily because a lot of people thought I was gay, you know, and I would have get the shouts and things, but then I knew I was heading, you know, I didn't let that. As a matter of fact, a lot of the people, guys who used to call me gay, I ended up dating their sisters just to show them that they had the wrong idea. But just as I am, that song was really what cemented the fact that I was an entertainer. And that would be one of my most memorable performances. And judging by the response, even up to now when I sing the song, and people that might have witnessed that night would probably agree that that was a phenomenal night. My second most outstanding night to me was in 1994 when I took part in the Calypso King of the World competition in New York. And I did a remake of I Have to Be King Tonight, and I performed that and Walk on Wine. And after that performance, a lot of the people who mattered, who were at the show, told me that I had won the competition. But when the results came out, I had placed fourth after the three Trinidadians who were on the show. The Mighty chalked us. He came first. Baron came second. Singing Francine came third. And then I was in the fourth place.
The man from St. Lucia, a calypso king on many occasions. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please put your claps together and meet and greet contestant number 5, Invader.
Massive! Bilum bem bum bum Bile badaba Bilum bem bum Bilum bum bem bum bum bem Bilum bum bem. There's an observation I would like to bring to your attention. And this thing goes on at every calypso competition. Right now, if you want to control the monarchy, you have to sing a political or a social commentary. You have to sing about some past political events, about how taxpayers' money badly spent, always expounding on a situation, never offering a solution, singing the news that we see on television, showing a complete lack of imagination. So if the judges do their jobs right, I have to be king tonight. Cause who's the man going to supply you with proper diction? Papa Vader. Let me hear you, Lucian. Papa Vader. Who's the man will give the island proper representation? Papa Vader. I said the mass man. Papa Vader. Who is the man represent the new breed of Kaisonian? Papa Vader. Papa Vader. So, if the judges use the criteria and do their jobs right, I ain't have no problem. I have to be king tonight. Come in. Bam. Boom. Belum boom. Bale badaba. Belum bem bum bum. Belum bum bem bum bum bum. I could have sing to you about Caribbean unity, But man like Aloes and Chucky don't sing about that already. I could have sing about drugs, about wars, and about corruption. But the mighty Sparrow sing about that in one of he last compositions. So before you give anyone this world monarchy, be sure he displays creativity and proves that he has the ability to move away from this monotony. A man who's not afraid to experiment with new ideas to give the art form more excitement. So if the judges do their jobs right,
I have to be king tonight.
Cause who's the man will show you he has versatility.
Papa Vader.
I said the mass man.
Papa Vader.
Who's the man could soothe you with a slower bouncy melody.
Papa Vader. Papa Vader.
Who's the man tonight will create calypso history?
Papa Vader. Papa Vader.
So, if the judges use the criteria and do their jobs right, I shouldn't have no problem.
I have to be king tonight.
What we're going to do right now is tell you about the migration of the Caribbean woman. When these Caribbean women move out of the islands and move to the big countries, they change entirely. Some of them change the way they talk, some change the way they dress, and most of them change the way they walk. We get into the walk and wine style now. Ready? Hey! Give me! Remember me! Come! Hey. We call it the walk and wine style Caribbean rhythm. Come in! Hey. Give me! Come in! Hey. Get up! When I knew you, girl, you couldn't even talk, no. Is I hold your hand and teach you to walk now. But since you come down from New York, baby, you have all them young boy going crazy. I remember you were so shy, mama, yeah. If a man did call you, you would have cried now. Teasing never seemed like your style. But now New York have you wild. When you walk and whine.
Walk and whine.
And whine.
Walk and whine.
And whine.
Walk and whine.
And whine
Walk
and shake
and
that boom.
whine.
Give me. Hey.
Walk.
Give me.
Walk.
And whine.
Walk and whine.
Walk and whine.
Walk and whine.
And whine.
Walk and whine.
And whine
Walk
and shake that boom. Give me, man. Ba.
Walk.
One more. What? Come in. Play, man. Blow, man. Give me. Hey. Are you ready? Come again. Get the music, man. Hey. Hear that? Dudu, darling, I did not realize. No. I would have to comment on your size now. The way you dress it is so revealing, lady. And you background shaking like a no with honey. I'm not trying to put you down, no. And you might be the sexiest thing around. I ain't making no joke. Everywhere you pass, you causing havoc. When you walk and whine,
Walk and whine.
and whine,
Walk and whine.
walk and whine,
Walk and whine.
and whine,
Walk
and shake
and
that
whine.
boom. Give me. Hey, what? Give me. Talking about the Caribbean woman here. Come in. And whine.
Walk and whine.
Girl, you walk and whine,
Walk and whine.
and whine. See the big man here? And whine. What's the fat man? Give me, man. Blow, man. What the? Hey, hey. How she move? How she move? She wiggle, she whining, she shaking up the bum, say Caribbean style.
She wiggle, she walking, she driving me crazy.
When she walk in,
She wiggle, she walking, she shaking up the bum, say.
Hey!
She wiggle, she walking, she driving
Tout le monde,
crazy.
Lucian Marcel Demir, ça qui fait fête. Ouais, pas mêlé, ou pas garder, mais pas touché. Come in! Bloody check, man! Hey! Hey! Tout le monde, ça qui fait fête. Ouais, pas mêlé, ou pas garder. Marcel, you know, one time. You only went on a holiday. Out of the blues you decide to stay. Now you come parading this big butter. Now you are the main attraction. I know you are not to be blamed, no. But you causing man to go insane. Behind you carry in your future. This is you give from Mother Nature. When you unwind,
Walk and wine,
unwind,
walk and wine,
unwind,
walk and wine,
hey, unwind
walk
and shake
and
it.
wine. Walk,
Go ahead. Unwind,
walk and wine,
unwind,
walk and wine,
walk and wine,
walk and wine,
unwind,
walk
shake
and
it.
wine.
Give me, what? Come again, man. Until we meet again. Ira, walk and wine, walk
And wine,
walk
and wine,
hey, walk
and wine,
walk
and wine,
hey, walk
and wine,
hey.
walk and wine, walk and wine.
Yeah.
So Papa Veda, as we more affectionately call him, I think practically everybody calls him by his stage name anyway. And I'll just share a little quick story about me, because when I was growing up, I actually thought that was his real name until I discovered it's otherwise. But for over 30 years in the calypso arena, it's no wonder that his music is classic, it is timeless, and even when he comes out with modern hits, he is still rocking a crowd. Now, he started in 1984, so no wonder I can relate, because you all know I'm an 80s baby, so we're going to take some time to appreciate the music, and with such a wide repertoire, I've been wondering myself, what are some of his personal favorites? So we're going to jump right back into this interview so that we can find out what Mr. Ignatius has up his sleeve in terms of his favorites in such a wide repertoire.
All right. Locally, the Mighty Peps Unborn Child was what that derailed me, because I was on a roll from 83 until Pep came into the arena and he did that song. That song opened my eyes, you know, that I need to get back on track, you know. So that is a song that I have a lot of respect for. I love the way it was composed. I love the way it was presented. I love the way it was performed. So that would be one of the local tracks. My other big track would be from a Calypsonian, maybe before your time, called the Mighty Caro. He did a track called Carnival on the Moon, and that was in the 70s. And that song and that performance is what led me in the direction that I am now with regards to presenting songs and performing them and doing songs that will last and what have you. So these two songs locally are the most outstanding in my mind. The Mighty Sparrows, Mother's Love. In this place, certain men should hide their face. The way they treat their mother is that this. I know this is because of the love of my mother and thing, but that song, I just get goose pimples every time I hear it or I try to sing it.
In this place, certain men should hide their face. The way they treat their mother is a disgrace. In this place, certain men should hide their face. The way they treat their mother is a disgrace. neglect the old lady for donkey years. When she dead, they shedding crocodile tears and spending money like hell to build a casket big like Hilton Hotel. But when their mother was alive, they didn't know she then is nightclubs and brothel. The money used to spend, they used to carry on. But now that she is gone, them hypocrites does weep and mourn. But if you are lucky and still have your mommy, remember what Sparrow say. Forget them jagabats and all the Jezebel. Make sure your mommy okay. So indiscreet, some madam drunk in the street, and mama have nothing to eat. Buying company, every day they in a spree, while their mama belly empty. I know a man who joined his wife one night to cuss his mother, till he end up in the jail in Carrera. When she dead, he start to moan and shout, I wish the dead could have wake up and bust it down mouth. When his mother was in need, he never paid her heed, and she had to eat the bread the devil need. It was so unfair, just a postcard once a year he will send to pretend sincere. No, she don't need a lot, just give her what you got, whether you're rich or you're poor. I say, not only on her birthday, that shouldn't be the way. Every day should be Mother's Day.
Mighty Sparrow. And the next big song for me was the Mighty Shadow. You looking for a horn, boy? That one, you're working. Yeah, you're joking, but you want a woman, you can do that. All how you're looking for a horn. That song was one of my biggest tracks back in the day when I used to party and sing. The Mighty Shadow. And yeah, that's about the 4 songs that stand out to me.
Joking? No. You're stealing? No. You're dealing? No. You're looking for horn? Plenty horn, boy. You're looking for horn? You're going to get horn, boy. Why you want to marry? You don't have no money. You ain't walking no way. You don't have a payday. You think it's good? You think that's work? You think it's good? I wish you luck. Without money to buy honey, you're heading for misery. She want hairdo and callaloo, and you ain't have nothing. Somebody will warn you. You better believe it. Somebody will warn you. I hope you could take his partner.
Let's do Calypsonians now. Regionally, locally, let's give me 4.
Four. Locally, the Mighty Pele. I mean, Pele was phenomenal in his time. I admire Pele most of all after he got in the accident, and he continued to perform. how he learned to master the wheelchair, how he was so independent in that, I mean, you couldn't leave Pele out of anything. The fact that he was in a wheelchair, that never stood in his way. He would get there, you know, and I really admired the mighty Pele for that. And locally, I also like the Lucian Parrot, because although he did not have a very long career locally, but at the time when Parrot was active, Parrot was a phenomenal performer. I mean, he had the look of a calypsonian, his height, his persona. I mean, he had what it took to be a calypsonian, and I always admired the Lucian Parrot. Up to this day, he's one of my most outstanding local calypsonians. My mentor is the mighty Sparrow. I grew up on Sparrow's music. I try to imitate Sparrow in every way, even in the way I write, the way I perform, some of my moves. I take it from the Sparrow and I try to adapt it more to my vibe, but really and truly, the mighty Sparrow. And I adore the mystic of the Shadow. I like the black outfits that he wears and his white beard and his stationary position on stage, and the way that he writes his songs and the way that he delivers his songs. They're never straight songs, you know. He always puts a twist to it, like, you know, I was planning to forget calypso and go and plant peace in Tobago, but I am afraid. Just different. And these two regional calypsonians, the mighty Sparrow and the Shadow, them is my idols. What being a performer has done for me, it has made me, first of all, very independent. It has built my confidence as a person. It has showed me that I can be self-reliant on myself, in that I can provide the means of my own survival. I've become a very enterprising person in that I don't sit and wait. You know, I make it happen. And that has worked well for me. I mean, I've won 4 Calypso Monarchs, 7 Road Match titles, 2 Soca Monarch titles, 2 Extempo Monarch titles. I am the reigning bi-local monarch. I have won the Creole Monarch competition. I got the St. Lucia Medal of Merit Gold, which was a really big moment for me. Is the highest achievement that a local entertainer could get for his work. It's on merit, which made it even greater for me. I've gotten, I mean, accolades from all over. I mean, New York, Connecticut, all the various organizations in the diaspora have acknowledged me with a plaque or trophy for my contribution towards the development of Calypso, and that's in New York, that's in Toronto, that's in Texas, that's in California, that's in Washington, that's in Atlanta, that's in Miami, you know. As a matter of fact, the last plaque which I got was from the International Soca Awards. It was the President's Award, which is the highest award that a soca artist could receive for his contribution towards the art form. On the night when I received that award, I made it clear that I want no more plaques, I want no more trophies. I would like a small check instead. Because I have no place to put plaques and trophies again. I need cash. First of all, what would make a great calypso for me would be, first, the music. Music has to be, I mean, depending on the topic that you're singing about, then the music would have to depict that. Because you can sing about, let's say, the dead, and do that in a soca beat. And you can sing about alive and living and do that in a dead beat. So the music, the mood of the music is very important. So the music is the first thing. Then the storyline, which is where a lot of people who call themselves calypsonians fall short. The storyline has to be interesting, the composition that is. There has to be an introduction, there has to be a body, and there must be a conclusion. You can just have words helter-skelter in a song. And so the composition is very important to me. The topic has to be an interesting topic, and the treatment of that topic. I don't believe in saying the cow jump over the moon. I would take it and try to say something else where the cow, maybe the cow nipples touch the moon as it went over. You understand? So I want to make it more interesting than just the basic average story. So these are the elements of a good calypso for me. And the longevity of the song, because there are songs that hit, and they hit for a week or they hit for a month, and there are songs that stay with you for generations.
I can't tell you that, but the people know it's saltfish.
Just because of the storyline, the way the story is told, that you can find that story relating to situations over and over and over again. So these are the elements that make a good calypso to me.
I mean, it's a ridiculous thing for when a woman prepares saltfish for a man to eat and he just tastes it and stoops. But when a West Indian woman prepares saltfish for she man, it'll be so nice, so nice, so nice. He just end up licking the bowl. Ow.
The do's and the don'ts that you asked about, I don't believe in being libelous. I don't believe in putting people down, you know. I believe in humor. I try to make my songs as humorous as possible so that even if I'm singing about you, you will laugh about it. And I try, like I said, not to be libelous, not to sing anything to degrade or to bring anybody down. That's the do's and the don'ts for me. Embarrassing moments. Well, I've had a few embarrassing moments on stage. When I started to get a little older, retention was a problem. So I would forget lines during the competition out of mere nervousness and what have you. Those moments were a little embarrassing. My most embarrassing moment as a performer was when I did a track called Boom McDoom, Move the Speaker from the House. My outfit on that night had gone totally haywire because I tried to copy the actual character, but then I was a little overweight. And when I saw the video of that performance, I was embarrassed. And, these are about the two most embarrassing moments that I can remember. Apart from that, you know, it's been all good. Well, I mean, the tent really is the vehicle basically for the national competition. It forms part of the format that gets you to the semifinals and the finals. The tent should be more than that. In the mid-80s and early 90s, the tents were beginning to explore a little more by doing off-season shows and taking calypso just from one basic location to the out districts and that kind of thing. But then that stopped, and the tent has become again just the vehicle to carry you to the finals. As a matter of fact, back in 1992, you would have like 4 out district tents, and then you have 4 tents in the Central Basin before the semifinals. Now in 2019, you only have 2 tents, 2 shows before the semifinals. So that is a real big fallback as far as the Calypso tents. I believe that the tents should get a little more extracurricular, try to do shows out of season, try to do events to raise funds, because they always claim that it's because of funding that they cannot do. But they need to do extracurricular, activities to raise funds. There are so many festivals now. You have the Creole Festival, the Christmas, a number of Christmas local songs that the tents can utilize, to create more revenue for themselves and to assist the artists themselves in making some more money. Calypso can never die. The artists will die. Shadow dead, Duke dead, Sparrow is 85, almost dead. You know what I'm saying? But Calypso will continue to live on, because Calypso is the voice of the people. Calypso is the music avenue. It's not R&B, it's not reggae, it's Calypso music. It has various components. You have social commentary, where you would take social events and put into music to relate the plight of a people. Then Calypso is party music, where you can write songs that make people have a good time when they congregate. Calypso is music to make you aware of various aspects of the society, like Black Lives Matter, or Proud to be Black, or, so having these components is almost impossible for that art form to die. The practitioners will die, but Calypso will always be there. I try to adapt, I even sometimes use melodies out of popular songs to create my calypsos. I did that with Step, which is a Creole song, but that was from R&B, that was from Eminem and R. Kelly. I combined these 2 guys, the melodies from Eminem and the lyrics, step, 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 that's from R. Kelly. And I put that into Creole. That was a song I did in one day, Yeah. And that's what it is about, adapting, performing too. A lot of the Calypsonians especially need to improve on their performance, because a lot of the local artists, people will tell you that they cannot perform. And it's because they come on stage, they have nice songs, but all they do is come on stage and sing those songs. But there's something about performance. There's something about taking risks, Like I told you earlier, because of my theatrics, people used to think I'm gay. I would dress as a woman to bring... when I did Venom Salah in 1992, I dressed as a woman who was singing about the fact that she was tired of the life that she was living and she was getting out of the relationship, When I sang Victoria, I dressed as a Victorian queen to do that. When I sang Salbot, I dressed as a woman to do that. In recent times, when I did Kilang Gail Kapali, I tried to imitate the looks of Gail. You have to think outside the box, and you have to be willing to take the risks to create that sort of impact that will keep you in demand. And, I believe a lot of work has to be done by the local fraternity with regards to performance. We need to work on that. A performance also means appearance, the way you look. A lot of guys take performing as off the street kind of thing. The same way you'll see them on the street is the same way they want to appear on stage, and that don't work. You have to show the difference between you as a regular person and you as a performer, because people pay money to come to see you. So you always have to create that sort of impact, that wow impact, that when the people come, that they're satisfied with what they're seeing. So my advice would be that they up the game. Yeah? Definitely, we need to revisit the product, and we need, because calypso in St. Lucia is like a hobby. Very few artists take calypso on a professional level. So you find these guys just pop up during the carnival season, take part in the tent. Some of them may make it no further than the tent. They don't even make it to the semis. Some of them don't even do the quarters, but they're just so thrilled with just being on a stage for a couple of weeks and what have you. But for the serious calypsonians, we definitely need to look at, post-COVID, the next step forward. How do we survive? I mean, going virtual has proven itself to be the way to go right now. And even if we were to get back to some form of normalcy, I believe we seriously have to look at the virtual world and how we can best capitalize on it to continue to be viable and to earn a living, to make money, So my advice would be to learn as much as you can about the technology. Apart from just the technology, I think we also need to look seriously at the business of music, getting on the various platforms and making sure that we get our royalties for our music when it's played, making sure that we register our music. These are things that we take for granted, so we don't really reap the benefits. So my advice would be to get a little more serious about getting into the business of the music, and also to be a little more serious about the quality of the productions that you put out there. If you have good quality, you have an idea of the business of what you could derive from what you're producing, and you do what's necessary, then you can reap the benefits.
Hey family, welcome back. Thank you again for joining me. I was getting a little bit lonely, but of course I know there's so much to learn about one of our favorite calypsonians. And right now, if you'd allow me, I'm going to take a little seat because we keep bringing you some performances, and right now you're going to get something hot off the press, brand spanking new for 2020. It is called Keep the Borders Closed. And in true calypso fashion, it's a hot button issue right now. So we are going to sit back and enjoy this exclusive performance.
State of emergency. When they said that COVID was coming, everyone got afraid, because this virus is joking, is a killer on the rampage. He ain't got no cure, can't find a vaccine. Once you open the door, COVID come rushing in. The only precaution from this pandemic is to close the borders and to close it quick. We have been so lucky, no one is dead yet. We better move quickly before we regret. So keep the borders closed, PM. Keep the borders closed. No need to expose Lucian. Keep the borders closed. Alan. PM. Garçon. Keep the borders closed. Keep the borders closed, PM. Keep the borders closed. You must cover your mouth and nose, PM. Keep the borders closed. Alan. PM. Garçon. Keep the borders closed. Had the world panicking from Italy to Korea, while we anticipating when COVID go reach St. Lucia. Thanks to CMO, she handled things like a pro. Everyone coming in was immediately quarantined. Everyone was concerned about the state of the economy. Suspend liquor license, not a drink for anybody. Nemo relief package at the poor at a disadvantage. No money in the treasury, bonds a state of emergency, Lord. Keep the borders closed, PM. Keep the borders closed. Try to stay composed, PM. Keep the borders closed. Alan. PM. Garçon. Keep the borders closed. Keep the borders closed, PM. Keep the borders closed. All the tourists know the problem. close. PM! Curfew! Curfew! State of emergency! Maintain your distance! You don't like to take advice, but I beg you to use your brain. Them tourists you try to entice might just bring the virus again. The hotel they going to stay, no taxi ride to town for the whole 2 weeks holiday. They staying inside all day long. I know it's very important to build the economy, but don't drop your guard for an instant. We have to do it carefully, cause the same tourists we invite to come and spend time with us might be the ones to ignite another spike in the virus. So keep the borders closed, PM. Keep the borders closed. Tourism won't solve the problem. Keep the borders closed. Alan, PM. Garçon, keep the borders closed. Keep the borders closed, PM. Keep the borders closed. For the sake of evolution. Keep the borders closed. Alan, PM. Garçon, keep the borders closed. Keep the borders closed. Keep the borders closed. Keep the borders closed.
Family, so this is where I have to make sure that you guys made it till the end. And if you are watching from the start, well, you are the real MVPs. Now, thank you so much, because this was another special episode. And I feel like every episode is very special, very unique in its own way, because all of the Calypsonians and these artists that we featured have something different, something special. But one thing in common, their love and passion for the art form. And this is what we also share in common. So right now, I just want to bid you farewell. Thank you for being part of the family. And don't forget that you can help us keep doing this. We appreciate all the feedback and the fact that you all are loving this. So we're going to keep on doing more of what you love. And of course, what we love as well. So let's enjoy and celebrate Calypso music. And be back next week for more of Voice of the People.